last 17, and they snapped the Warriors' 5-game winning streak that looked to bounce back Tuesday night in the Valley of the Sun against Phoenix. But we'll talk about this game tonight right here on Toyota Warriors Post-Game Live with the Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, NBA champions Festus Ezeli, and JTA back in the Bay. Juan Toscano Anderson. And you came back here, you talked about Dillon Brooks, Amen Thompson. That Rockets team is tough. They made a statement.
They are tough. I mean, they got really scrappy in the first half. A lot was going on. I was anticipating Steph to come out in the second half and get busy. You know, he hit that three late in the second quarter. I thought that was like the one that was going to open the gates up for him. But shout out to the Houston Rockets, man. They made it really tough, and they got guys behind them, so they can really guard the ball. They got Steven Adams behind them, Sengun, who are rim projectors. So you really got them. They were really able to showcase their on-ball pressure tonight.
Whew. Now we understand why the Houston Rockets are number 2. All season long, everyone called them inexperienced. This is a young team, but it's led by Coach Ime Udoka, who really has this team locked in defensively. All game long, they were dominating the paint. Rebounding, points in the paint. They beat the Warriors by 22 points. I mean, the Warriors got a lot of, they stayed on the outside, a lot of threes. Trying to stay on the outside, they didn't get anything inside, and usually the Warriors offense is better when it's balanced. You have Jimmy Butler on the inside, Steph Curry on the outside. Guards are shooting shots off of offensive rebounds, but they didn't get those easy shots. Early turnovers took the Warriors out of their offense, took them out of sync, and they just never could get into the rhythm of the game.
Incredible defensive strategy by Ime Udoka, strategically trying to deny Steph all over the court. You have to have the personnel to do that. Amen Thompson, incredible individual defender. What a great athlete, desire. So props to him. But then offensively, you know, the first half was a 1-point game. Third quarter, they came out and shot 54% in that third quarter, won at 32-26. And they kept the game close, the Warriors did. But the problem was without separation, you know, at some point, this Houston team, that's what they do. They get a spurt. And they got a spurt from Dillon Brooks. They got Shannon going. Jalen Green started making shots, and that's when they got their separation. So between the defense of Amen Thompson and then the offense from Dillon Brooks, Shannon, and Jalen Green, that's how they won this game.
They held the Warriors to 96 points.
Yep.
I don't remember the last time the Warriors were held under 100 points, but tonight, Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, Fred VanVleet, you can't say enough about the job that he did on Steph Curry. Yes, you can double Steph, and they did a lot of that tonight, but the guards, just the commitment to fight over the screens, to get back to the shot, not letting him get anything, held him to 3 points. And I mean, it's incredible the defensive job that Ime Udoka has the Houston Rockets playing right now.
That was a playoff game plan as we pick up the tape in the fourth quarter with this game going nip and tuck. The Warriors are battling back here as the non-Steph players here, the non-Steph minutes, I should say, went the Warriors' way. Down 2, 83-81, but the Rockets, they look like the veteran team tonight. You see a nice pass there by Shangun. Shangun working on a mismatch against Brandon Podziemski. That's a big shot right there. Rockets up 6, and then just good ball movement, patience. Amen Thompson. Again, he's a special athlete. Gets the bucket over to DPOY favorite. Rockets up 8, and here's another basket right here. Amen Thompson slashes to the rim. Oh, almost got that to drop, but then Steven Adams there with the tip in. And the Rockets, JTA, really used their size, athleticism. They crashed the glass on the offensive rebounding, on the offensive glass. Impressive victory in the way they did it. They played at their own pace.
For sure. You know what? I was looking at the stats, and although they aren't glaring differences, it seems like they had an offensive rebound at very timely moments, right? Like when they needed it, and that were very deflating for the Warriors, and it was hard for them to, you know, respond and make a run. So I think that was really, really important for them in this game, is just like to be consistent on the glass, on the offensive rebounding. You know, they did allow some from the Warriors. Like I said, there weren't glaring differences, but it was just like those timely moments. It's one of those things like you have to have feel for the game to understand these things, right?
Yeah.
And those are one of those things that happened tonight.
I mean, how many times do you see the Warriors miss a layup dead at the rim because of the length of the Houston Rockets? Those guys, you could talk about Steven Adams, you could talk about Amen Thompson, you could talk about Jabari Smith. It seemed like they have an advantage size-wise. They might not look like the biggest team out there, but at each position, they had an advantage that they try to take advantage of each time. So offensively, you had Alperen Sengun setting ball screens, trying to get a guard on his hip, and then he posts them up. Or you saw Amen Thompson straight line drive, trying to get to the middle of the paint. That's their offense. They can't shoot the ball very well, but what they do is they get get into the paint. They try to make sure they reduce their average. They hold teams to 103 points a game defensively. So their defense is strong, and they just try to get to the paint just to make the game mucky.
I'll go back to Ime Udoka's defensive strategy. I think they're really locked in and focused. You know, tonight obviously trying to take Steph out of the game, which they did a great job of. But I think that carries over to the offensive end. They've got two decent three-point shooters in Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. Those are guys that will shoot open threes. You saw those clips. Amen Thompson, even when he's wide open, he's going to, much like GP2, he's going to attack the paint, try to get a shot for himself or collapse the defense. He's going to use his athleticism. So I think they understand their strengths and their weaknesses. They play really hard on both sides of the ball. That's why they're a number 2 seed. I think also they came to this game with a little chip on their shoulder. They came in at 15-2, and all the chatter you hear around the league is everyone wants the Rockets in the first round because of inexperience. They played like that. Okay, we're inexperienced. Check out our performance tonight.
And they beat OKC Friday night in Houston, so they're rolling right now. And the way they defended Steph Curry, ball denials, blitzing him, doubling him at half court, forcing anybody but Steph to beat them. And he had one of his worst games of the season. 1 of 10 from the floor, just 3 points, that three-point heave right before halftime. 1 of 8 for the three-point line, 8 assists in 33 minutes. Fezzi fell, man. What a defensive game plan by the Houston Rockets.
Well, you know, Bonte, when Steph Curry is doubled like this, a lot of the success the Warriors have is from Steph giving it to his pressure relievers. We call Draymond Green that. We've called Brandon Podziemski that. We've called GP2 that. And the Warriors tonight could not get those guys going early. So Steph could really never get going because you just kept doubling him and he kept getting results that way. So it's really important for the Warriors to get back to that precision offense, what they did against the Memphis Grizzlies, what they did against the Denver Nuggets, where they just moved the ball. And when they moved the ball, it found Steph eventually, and he got an open shot. You could just never get any separation all game long.
Yeah, I was impressed with the way the Rockets didn't cower towards the Golden State Warriors with all the things going on late in the first half. Draymond and Şengün getting into it, Dylan Brooks getting involved, and then Ime Udoka chirping at Steph Curry before halftime. Felt like that set a tone for that sideline.
Absolutely. Look, I played on this team. Draymond Green, it's his presence. It's his energy that he brings to the game, right? You have to match that when you're the opposing team, and tonight Houston did. They didn't shy away from it. They didn't shy away from physicality. They didn't shy away from mucking up the game. We're going to get in this fight, too, and we're going to mix it up, and we're going to show you who we are, and that's exactly what they did. And so I feel like when you can do that, then I don't want to say you equalize what Draymond brings to the game, but you equalize that facet of it. And when you have your coach out there doing the same thing, it just puts a battery in your back, right? Like my coach is doing, let's get in this mix, you know? So it was fun to see.
Yeah, I think the Rockets take on the person of their head coach, Ime Udoka. Tough. He was a tough-time player, big-time defensive player, physicality. But also, you see those clips. Steph had 8 assists, and they gave up some easy dunks and easy layups, but it did not deter them from their going back to their defensive strategy. Even when they got some dunks, some wide open threes, I thought they did a really good job, not only denying Steph, multiple efforts. You know, they were getting out on three-point shots. They weren't just giving wide open shots. So to me, they really stuck to their game plan, even when the Warriors got some open looks. But, you know, the Houston Rockets really take on the identity of Ime Udoka.
No doubt, the Warriors dropped to 6th place in the Western Conference. Still out of the box, but they had a chance to be in 4th place all by themselves with Denver losing.